You found TonyBasilio.com, home of the Tony Basilio Show. In just a few minutes, we'll be right with you with another award-winning, action-packed edition of your Tony Basilio Show. You found Radio Free Tennessee. Your Tony Basilio Show will begin momentarily. Keep it locked in right here at TonyBasilio.com and on your Tony Basilio app. And hey, do us a favor. Spread the word.
WJBE 1040 AM, 99.7 FM. Translator W259AB. Powell, Knoxville.
Great Friday to you and yours. We've got a special show lined out for you today. First thing I want to do is acknowledge the passing of one of our really classic, great callers, great listeners, and all-around good dudes, and that's RMI Jones has passed away. His daughter called me this morning. His daughter Jasmine called me this morning. I was on my way down to do the show here in Lenoir City, where we be. Calhoun's in the Marina in Lenoir City. And in honor of him, we were going to do a special show anyway, but we're going to wrap his passing into what we're going to do today. Here's today's topic. Today's topic is, how did you find Tennessee sports? Like, how did you find your way into this craziness that we're all part of? And then the second thing I'm going to ask you is, how did you find this radio show? There's a myriad of ways to find it these days. Like Carter's out here. He's down here with us already at our celebration at the what we call the Tiki Hut here at the Marina in Lenoir City, where on Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, live music. This is an awesome place. That cool breeze is blowing through here. It feels so good out here. And when you come here, you feel like you're on vacation. That's my favorite thing about being around the water and kind of being around this lifestyle. And we get a chance to play music down here. It is unbelievable. It is so much fun. But in the meantime, I want to load up the phone lines at 865-200-5402 and bang one out in the memory of my man RMI, who passed away, who one of his great sayings was he would go, Basilio, space sage. And I would always joke with him and say, space ace. And he'd go, no, man, it's space age. But RMI, love you. And to his family and all his friends, our condolences. But we're going to do a show today. We're going to do it in his honor. We're going to do it in his memory. And we're going to begin and commence right on the other side on this Friday. Come see us. We're at Calhoun's here in Lenoir City on the Marina. It is really, really nice out here under the tiki hut. Nice cool breeze blowing through here, believe it or not, as we continue with more after this.
Are you searching for a great local coffee? I'm Billy with Grade A Grounds. You can buy our freshly roasted coffee online and support a good cause with every sip. Great coffee, greater causes. Visit our website today, gradeagrounds.com.
Summer is officially here, and the last thing you want during sweltering heat is a broken air conditioner or HVAC system. That means it's more important than ever to keep you and your family comfortable and safe when extreme Tennessee temperatures arrive. Don't ignore the warning signs that your AC is struggling or nearing the end of its lifespan. And if you need emergency HVAC repairs, routine preventative maintenance, or want to invest in a new system, then call the trusted HVAC experts at Pipe Wrench Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. This month, get up to a $1,000 discount when you buy and install a new air conditioner or HVAC system. We make it easy with free on-site estimates for replacements and free second opinions on repairs. And if budgets are tight, we offer flexible payment plans including 0% financing with credit approval. Be sure to ask about our 10-plus year warranties that are 2 times longer than industry standards, so you don't spend a cent on unexpected costs in the future. So call Pipe Wrench at 865-264-8090 or book online at pipewrench.com to schedule your appointment today. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free.
Life never stops moving. And between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Are you stuck in a dead-end job or ready for a new challenge? Do you feel like it's time to try a new career? Well, it's time to change lanes with TLD Logistics. My friends at TLD Logistics have some really exciting opportunities for you to learn a new skill. With a new 5-acre driving academy that's now under new leadership with all new course material. And the best part, it's absolutely free. What a great deal to set you on the road to higher pay. And TLD Logistics even offers weekly stipends to offset food and gas expenses. In 6 weeks' time, you could complete this course and be in compliance with FMCSA regulations. Then you're ready for the open road of opportunity. What are you waiting for? It's time to change lanes with TLD Logistics. Visit tldlogistics.com. That's tldlogistics.com. TLD Logistics.
A lime is not always just a lime. You see, some limes are lucky. For when a lime joins the salted rim of a crisp, refreshing Tres Dos Equis, that lime is no longer a mere lime, but a wedge of renowned Mexican limón. Muchas gracias, limón. And also, de nada. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis, imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama ZZ approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and ZZ.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols!
Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good. I don't want to blow anybody out here. Tony Basilio back with you. It's our celebration here today on the program. And so, how'd you find this program? And really, how'd you find Tennessee sports? Because we all have a story to tell, right? Who introduced you to this nonsense? 865-200-5402. And we do it today in honor of RMI. I do it in honor of my man Bino today, who's unable to be with us. But Bino's one of the guys that, when I was a kid, sort of drug me into the Tennessee thing, the Marasono, Philadelphia, because I didn't know anything about it, you know. The great Paul Gilbert comes to mind as well. When I met him when I was in college, and he would sit there and tell me the stories, you know, when he would come up in the 70s and go to games with his dad and his uncle, and, you know, all these things that you don't even really stop and think about it till you stop and think about it. But a lot of this stuff is handed down sort of orally, you know, like family members telling each other stories, sharing with you, hey, I was at this game and this happened. And I swear sometimes the losses carry a lot more weight than the wins do. The losses seem to carry more weights. I was there when poor Bill Bates got run over by Herschel Walker. Yeah, how many of us have heard that story, right? Had to be 1 million people in the stadium. I was there the day that Rocket Ismail ran away from the Vols. I was there in '98 when Tennessee beat Florida. We're live today here at Calhoun's on the Tiki Hut in Lenoir City, where a lot of great memories are made each and every day. And I want to invite you to come on out and see us, eat some lunch, talk some sports. Steve Russell. And that breeze blowing through here feels so, doesn't that feel good on a summer day? Summer breeze make me feel fine. Key of E minor. Let's go to the phones. Or G if you're musically inclined. I guess that's not E. I guess that song isn't G. But here we are. Here we are, ladies and germs. If you want to get in, 865-200-5402. Let's, without further ado, go to our phones. And we'll get our first call in today, and I want to hear from as many people as humanly possible. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony. Chris from Birmingham.
Chris from where?
Chris from Birmingham. How you doing?
Hey, welcome in Birmingham, brother. Good to talk to you.
Yeah, I condolences and comfort in Christ to the Jones family, and very grateful for your always having that personal touch with knowing people and inviting everybody else into that. So thank you very much. And And yeah, my intro to Tennessee sports, I grew up in East Tennessee in Kingsport. My mom still lives there, but went to a Georgia Tech, Tennessee football game in '77, and that was a pretty bad year. But nevertheless, being in Neyland Stadium was a lot of fun. And,
yep. How old were you? How old were you in '77? I
was 13. So
there you go.
That was good times, and wound up going to Tennessee 2 years later. But our nephew Zach Askew, he put us in touch with you when we were coming back from Tennessee game just, 3, 4, 5 years ago. And he said, if you ever want to listen to Tennessee sports, Basilio's always got something going on. So we checked you out and haven't stopped listening since. But hey, before I let you go, because I know you want to get a lot of callers in, I was just literally want to tell you, I got your book, Loose Balls, literally sitting right here in front of me. And you had that guy on one of your shows and recommended it. And I was just going to tell you, you should start a book club, and you probably could have another stream of income by recommending books to people to read with all your listeners, because this is a great fun book, and you ought to start your book club.
Hey, how did you, if you don't mind me asking you, how did you find the copy of that? Did you go go online? And because that's a hard book to find, man. He's talking about Loose Balls, which is an oral history of the American Basketball Association, the ABA, and it's laugh out loud funny. I mean, some of the stuff in there, especially for those of us that kind of grew up in that era in the 70s, where it was just kind of wild and free before corporatism took over sports. It was just it was wild, some of the stuff that went on back then. But how did you find the book?
Oh, my sweet wife, Amanda, she hears me suggest something, and she says, you want it? And she goes online and finds all this stuff. And so, yeah, I mean, it's a great copy of it. It looks like it's brand new. And so there's some good copies of that stuff out there. And I was I still am a Sixers fan, Flyers fan, and just loved, back in that same time with Jimmy Streeter playing quarterback for the Vols, loved watching the Sixers and George McGinnis, Julius Erving, Bobby Jones, all those guys, and then of course when they finally got Moses Malone and Moses took him to the Promised Land, right?
Gotta love it, brother. Hey, great talking to you. And Moses will forever be known for faux. Hey, have a great one, man. Good talking to you.
Thanks, Tony. Have a great day.
Thank you. So we're shouting out memories. He brings up Jimmy Streeter. Shout out to Heath Schuler, man. So Heath Schuler, 20 or so years ago, he took Jimmy Streeter under wing, honored him at a time where Jimmy was kind of, down and having health issues, and I believe Jimmy's since passed away, but Heath Schuler was so sweet, so good to him, and I just shout that out today. I honor that today on this show on a Friday where we're just kind of going to honor each other. That's what we're doing here, and let's get our next call in. Hello and welcome. We've got some ladies out here from Tellico. I don't know what they call themselves, but they're crazy. They were just out here I don't know. They were riding their ski-doos, it looks like, out in the hot sun, and there's a bunch of them meeting here, and I hope we don't mar their time together. I'm going to go over and say hello to them here in a second. I hope we don't mar their time together. I'm trying to keep myself down, you know what I mean? Let's get our next call in. Hello and welcome. As you're live at the Marina, Lenoir City, you come out here, you feel like you're going on vacation. I'm looking at a volleyball pit over here. I'm looking at these beautiful birds by the stream that's flowing under us. All these fish are down here. I see them. I think about playing music with Lancey and Lauren. We were out here last Thursday night. They have music on Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays. It's unbelievable. It's a great atmosphere here. Let's go to our phones. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Tony, don't you cramp them girl style now.
I know. I'm trying not to, man.
Hey, this is Joey from Georgia. It's my first time calling in. How you doing?
Joey, welcome in. Good to talk to you. Where in Georgia are you, my man?
Right in the middle of the state, and can I tell you, Tony, how hard it is to be a Vol around all these obnoxious Georgia fans?
I'm kind of going to believe that. I bet you have a vote on when they redo this schedule, what series you'd like to stay. I want to keep the Georgia game over the Florida game. Do you agree with that?
I absolutely agree with it, as long as we're good. Because if we're not, I'm going to hear about it for 12 months.
Yeah,
but,
well,
listen, my dad and all of my dad's side of the family is from a little town called Hohenwald, Tennessee. And so naturally, a boy is going to grow up rooting for his dad's team, and that's how I came into the Tennessee family. I remember the first game I ever saw was a VHS tape of Tennessee Auburn from '86 and Reggie Cobb running the rock for us. So ever since then, I've been, and it's been tough because I've never lived in Tennessee myself, so I've always been surrounded by enemies.
So the Reggie Cobb game would have been '89, and here's how I know. I got fired from a radio job because of the '89 Auburn game. At the time, I was reading news on a station, and that day it rained, and I mean poured. And I was with my now wife, and we about got trampled running onto the field. That's a true story. And we almost got hit by a goalpost that came down. That's a true story. But the next day, my voice was so hoarse from yelling and screaming the entire time and staying up all night partying, just celebrating what had happened, that I went into work. The GM called, happened to be listening, and said, "Who is that on the air? Get him off." And I got fired. That was my first of many firings in my life. So,
tremendous.
Hey, listen. Hey, when you're in our business and you've never been fired, I mean, come on, man. You need to work on your game. But tell me this: how did you find us, my man?
All right, so my dad, my brothers were all huge Tennessee fans. I got turned on to your show from them, and I've been listening religiously every day for probably the last year. And I got to tell you something: I'm about to put you over, like the Mulkeys used to put over the Road Warriors back in the day. All right. I have never been as tuned in and invested in Tennessee sports as I have since I started listening to you every day. So I want to thank you for that.
Fired up, focused, and prepared, and a special shout-out to you because I don't know, that place you mentioned where your dad came from, is that near Bucksnort, Tennessee? That's my next question for you. And say that place again. Did you say Hole in the Wall? What was that place called? Say it again.
That's what everybody thinks when they hear it. No, it's Hohenwald, Hohenwald.
Hohenwald. And what part of the state is Hohenwald in?
It's probably about an hour and a half from Nashville. It's more like western central, I guess, part of the state. Near Dixon, Tennessee. You familiar with Dixon?
Oh, of course. Now, my wife's family's from Dixon.
Okay, it's over in that area.
Wow, hey, that's borderline the middle of nowhere. Yes,
no, it is. It is in the middle of nowhere now.
Well, you're the man, brother. Thank you, and be blessed. Thanks for calling. Appreciate you.
I appreciate you, Tony. Thanks.
Back to our phones we go, and I'm going to hear from Brian Hartman as well. But here's a question for you: how did you find this Tennessee sports thing? Everybody's got a story to tell, and we're all kind of bound by this torture. And then the second question is, like, I'll meet a young kid with their Tennessee family, and I'll say, "Hey, man, kid's 5 years old. Why don't you let him root for somebody that's going to win some championships instead of all this heartbreak?" But we're bound by it, and we have fun with it. So, and every once in a while, we win at something. And one thing about us, when we win, we'll get our next call in. And then the second question is, how'd you find our crazy corner of the world? Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, man, I like to send my condolences to the guy that y'all lost family, man. It's hard to lose somebody, man, when you're dealing
Brother,
with stuff.
Ain't that the truth? My man, RMI. Did you, Florida, did you ever meet RMI Jones? Are you familiar with him?
No, but I heard him when he told you, when he was telling you stuff. I enjoyed him.
Oh, my God, dude. I was laughing with his daughter today, and We were just, I mean, she was laughing. She said, my father was so funny and enjoyed every day. And I thought, you know what? And she said, and he loved us. And I thought, you know what? Hey, man, there's a lot to celebrate there. A lot to celebrate. Love on your kids.
Memories, man. That's what it's all about.
Yep.
But let me tell you this. Tennessee, and I hate saying this, man, because there's a lot of good Tennessee fans out there, and there's some obnoxious ones too. But that's all y'all know is losing. That's all y'all know. That's why when y'all finally win one, y'all so happy. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like Christmas Day to y'all. So, but when you're used to winning, you know what I mean? You take it in stride and you strive for the next one. That's what it's supposed to always be about, man. But listen, man.
So you're going to come in here today. Now, hang on a second here. You're going to come in here on our feel-good day, and you're going to do that to me?
Tony B, I'm just telling you the truth. Truth hurts.
Let me ask you something.
Like I said, you got some good fans, and then you got some of these obnoxious fans.
Like Bino. Bino, hey, Bino's a clown. Bino's an absolute.
Yeah, I ain't going to talk about Bino like that.
Bino's a punk. Bino's a punk. Bino's a clown. But let me ask you something. How'd you become a Florida fan?
I dated this girl when I was in the military, and she took me home. And I met her dad. He was a huge Florida fan. Took me to a game. Been one ever since.
Well, I honor that. That's a good story. How'd you find this show, Florida? I've never asked you that. And what was your first reaction to it?
I used to work when I was at work. I used to work at a steel mill. I used to work.
Right.
And we used to listen to, 99.7 all the time. And then you came on and you said something about my Gators that I didn't like. And I said, I'm going to call him and let him give him a piece of my mind. And ever since then, I've been giving you a piece of my mind practically every day for the past 4 years, Tony B.
Well, and you've come down, and we've had fun with you, and we've celebrated you, even though you're a clown. And my thing is, look, man, I think just because we cheer for different teams, we're all the same. Now, you are kind of an imbecile, but you're my imbecile.
Thank you.
Some people think I'm an imbecile, so, whatever. But at the end of the day...
John Adams thinks you're a huge imbecile.
And John Adams what?
He thinks you're a real big imbecile.
There's no question. He looked at me yesterday and he said, I love doing this show. He was in studio. He goes, I love doing it in studio, Tony, because I can see how really, truly goofy you really are when I'm looking at your face. And I'm like, well, thanks, I think, John. Thanks, I think. But, Florida, you're my main man.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I have one more question for you.
Here we go.
Just one more. Just let me vent, Tony B. Good gracious, it's been a while. Hey, listen. So I looked at Media Days and saw Josh Heupel up there. Y'all still love Nico? You still got love for Nico?
Me? Do I love Nico?
Yeah, you. Yeah, you.
About when I think of Nico, about like I think of that, like athlete's foot maybe.
Because I saw Aguilar on Ted Hall. He interviewed Aguilar the other day. And, y'all really think he going to carry you 10 wins this year like Nico did?
Do I think Tennessee's winning 10 games? I don't know. Could happen.
I think you down in Lenoir City, you done got bougie on me, Tony B. Something is wrong. You done got bougie on me.
Bougie? Hey, Florida. 3, 2, 1, you're out of here. And by the way, Florida, I've been called a lot of things in my life, but bougie ain't one of them. And if you looked at me right now, you'd know I ain't bougie. Let me paint the picture for you. I'm wearing a Philadelphia Eagles Kelly Green long-sleeve shirt on a 94-degree day. Does that sound bougie to you? Let's go to the phones. 865-200-5402. We'll keep the calls going because that's what we're going to do today. And we'll get our next call in. Hello and welcome. The questions are, how did you find this thing called Tennessee sports? And if you're a fan of another team, how did you find your way? Florida dated a girl went home, met the father. They went to a Florida. He was in the military. I honor all that. That's a great story. Sure, I buy that. Now, he is a clown, and we've heard some other great stories today. This literally feels like you can feel your blood pressure going down when you're out here. You just kind of, oh, man, so relaxing out here. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony. How are you today?
Doing great. Appreciate you calling.
Yes, sir. I became a Tennessee fan in 1982. I was 12 years old, and I grew up in the Tri-Cities, Johnson City area, and somebody give us tickets to the Knoxville Zoo. And we come down about this time of the year, and we went to the zoo, and my dad, we kind of loafed over towards the stadium, and Dad saw a gate that was open, and we just walked in on the field. And from then on, I was a Tennessee fan.
All right, so lay this on me. I want to make sure I understand this now. It's a summer day, right? You guys go down to the zoo from where you are in the Tri-Cities.
Yeah, Johnson City. We grew up in
Johnson City, and you're down in Knoxville, kind of visiting around. You drive around where the campus is. You're down there by the stadium, and your family walk through an open gate, and you walk out on the field, and you become a Tennessee fan. Is that what you just told me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. I can,
now, yeah.
I
in
can
the
still
80s.
remember the Vol sign on top of the stadium.
That is the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. You're giving me chills. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
If you did that today and we had a reenactment of your family time together, you all would get tased and arrested. Could you imagine sneaking in? Yeah.
We'd be on live PD.
You'd be on the news. You'd be on you'd be on Patrol. They would tase you, arrest you, and handcuff you. And Danny White would charge you $100 for your tour. God, it's unbelievable.
I can remember that. I don't remember a lot about it, but I can remember looking through the gate. You could see the field. It was on the end zone near the river. And we just walked straight out and walked on the field and walked around.
Yep. Family in handcuffs.
Some pictures. Oh, yeah.
Hey, let me tell you.
I found
Yep.
I found your show about 99, 2000. I just happened to come across it. I drive a truck and was hauling gas.
Wow.
Fuel hauler.
Wow.
And I'm going to tell you, Tony, you've got me through some rough times in life. And I have worked my schedule around your show before the computer and the app.
Oh, yeah.
All that. Yeah. I've rigged, you wouldn't believe some of the antennas I've rigged on my truck to be able just to listen to your show, you and Dino. And, when Dino was full-time. And
wow.
Yeah. I've listened to you since, 2000 anyway.
Well, brother, you're watering my soul with your story.
Hey, Can I make a book recommendation?
Absolutely.
This is Titansville, completely random, off topic, but that we have an undercover FBI agent that lives in Knoxville, and he just wrote a book. He just put a book out about him going undercover in white supremacist groups and biker gangs. And if there's any way you can get him on your show, if you'll listen to him, he is outstanding. His name's Scott Payne. And
send me an email.
Player.
Do me a favor. Email me. Go to my website. Click on Email Tony. Send me an email, and I'll follow up on that. Okay?
Yes, sir. I will. You'll enjoy it. I've just finished his book up and listened to him on a number of podcasts. He is a really fascinating person to listen to.
Thank you, my brother. Anybody crazy enough to get involved in stuff like that has got my ear. As we get ready to go back to our phones, there's a little puppy dog out here now, which I'm in favor of. I just love being here at the Tiki Hut in Lenoir City. It is absolutely a beautiful spot to be, and we're celebrating each other on this day. Hello and welcome into our next call as you are on our Friday edition. Welcome in.
Hey, Tony B, it's Richard.
Hey, Richard, how you doing, brother?
I'm good. So you going bougie on me, Tony?
Oh, you know me, Richard. I got my designer clothes on from head to toe, driving around in my high-performance sports car coming down here today. Yes, sir.
Tony, I'm going to say, knowing how much you love music, that one of your favorite Who songs is probably Eminence Front, because it's talking about just that very thing, right?
What a great riff that is, man. Great riff.
Yep, it's actually one of our favorites of the Who. So love that song. Just talking about that very thing. So, but hey, wonderful topic. I can't sit there and say exactly how old I was when I became a big Tennessee fan. I'm gonna say again, it was my family. My older cousin was a Tennessee fan, so I just started listening to John Ward when I was old enough to understand basketball and football as a young kid, and as much as I played sports always growing up. So, but my first real season, again, was 1985. That's when I got truly baptized into Tennessee football, because that's the first year I got to go actually watch games. And so I'm 19 years old. And so, that UCLA, went to the UCLA game, and that was agony watching them score 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter and 2-point conversions to tie us to the next week beating Auburn, and the euphoria on the field there. So what a wonderful year it was to actually start going to Tennessee football games. So I'll always have that season marked in my, just as my special season, because I got to go to the Sugar Bowl too when we beat Miami. So that season will always be my favorite season as a fan.
It's kind of like the concept of there's just something that it does to you. I think as sports fans, sometimes, Richard, we chase that first high. Those of us that it kind of captures, Man, there's just nothing like walking in that stadium for the first time. Bino was describing that to me. We were talking a conversation a few weeks ago. He said when you walk in and you see all the colors when you're a kid, you first walk through that ramp. Some people just walk through the ramp, it doesn't do anything to them. Some people walk through that ramp and it's like, wow, I'm home. And man, that's how I felt. I was just like, I belong here. You know what I mean? It's hard to describe that. It's hard to articulate or put that into words, but that's exactly how I felt.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It is. It's just something that, like I said, after that year, it just, I remember, Tony, this is a true story. So the following year in 86, that Tennessee had the high expectations, and it didn't get going very good that year. Didn't live up to the year they thought that it was going to happen. I remember the first game against Colorado State. I didn't have a ride. No one to go to the game from Nashville up to there, so I was thinking about hitchhiking just to get up to go to that game. That's how eat up I was at then. I was willing to hitchhike because I knew if I got out on Interstate 40 with my UT stuff, Tennessee fans would have picked me up and taken me to the game.
Oh, no question, man. And back in those days, you probably could hitchhike,
Yes, and that's before I watched the movie The Hitcher. So,
yeah, well, that'll do it to you. Hey, Richard, or watching the nightly news here, but how did you find our program, Richard?
Well, Tony, I had always, off and on through other social media or not mind social media other than just going to Vol sites and stuff like that. But I always just heard people always talking about Tony Basilio. You have your fans and you got your haters out there.
I love my haters. Hey, my haters spread more good word, Richard. The haters, I love the haters because y'all, listen, keep my name alive. I love it. Keep hating. I love hate. Hate is great.
Well, that's when I was like, I got to finally start checking out this show. And so I did. And, ever since, man, what can I say? I jump in right after, I jump in during the Pruitt years, man. What a way to start getting in your show. Remember the first time I talked to you, I was telling you about, because I had the wonderful opportunity to work at Blackman and do all the stuff I did with all the football players we had, and DeJuan Jennings, a good friend of mine and all that. But, how the one thing Pruitt did when he took over. He pretty much canceled all the high school, the Tennessee high school, connections. He just basically told all of us to take a flying leap, and just closed off all those relationships, and just how stupid he was in so many ways. But
he's a smart guy. Hey, Pruitt always was he was an emotionally intelligent person. You can't say anything else about a guy like that. But Richard, thanks, man. Hey, you're a credit to us all, brother. Thank you, Richard. Good talking to you. And see, Richard has his lovers, and he has his detractors, because he's what I call a caller of consequence. A caller of consequence. So we go back to our phones. 865-200. 5402 if you want to get in the mix and in the hunt with us. Let's go back to our phones on a day where we ask the following question: How did you get into this Tennessee thing? And if you're not a Tennessee fan, how'd you get into what you cheer for? And then, how'd you find the show? We're just kind of celebrating us today on a day where Stephen Hargis is reporting that Marshall Manning is going to enroll in the Baylor school and is going to play his high school football in Chattanooga. But I think he's only in 8th grade. Hello and welcome into our next call. You're on the air.
Well, he's there, Donnie.
Hey, Philly, I shouted you out earlier.
Yeah, he did. Condolences to RMI's family.
Yes, sir, my man. Yes, sir.
He was a great caller.
Oh, my gosh. One of a kind, buddy.
Yeah, he was. Tony, I first started here Tennessee football was probably about 1967 here in John Ward when Tennessee beat Alabama in Birmingham.
That's a young John Ward, right, Philly?
Yeah.
Wow.
That was, that's when they had Tennessee overwhelms Alabama on Sports Illustrated. Big old picture of Tennessee guy intercepting the pass. It's pretty cool.
And Philly, back then when you made Sports Illustrated, that was the greatest thing in the world. We'd sit there and pore over and look at those photos for days and days, Phil. For days and days, man.
Yeah, it was a good old days, wasn't it? But
no doubt.
Tony, my first recollection of your show was Joy 62, Raptors through Basilio.
Philly, you go back 35 years with me, man. 35 years. And you're hey, Phil, imagine how many hours of this you've heard, right? And you've been a part of it. Imagine what that's done to your brain.
I probably fried my brain, I guess, There's been a lot of good memories of talk radio over those years, Tony, though. I mean, it's been up and down, but it's been mostly positive.
Oh, Phil, we've had more fun. I mean, we've had more fun, dude. Come on, this has been this. If I could turn around and do it all over again, but I tell you, Laura and I have laughed because recently we've been kind of like just thinking about our journey and all the different spots we've been at. And she put it on paper one day, and she went, "Looking at that is exhausting." I said, "Yeah, going through it wasn't a picnic either. But if I could do it all over again, Phil, I would."
Yeah, look at all the callers that come and gone, and some of them are still around, and it was a great fraternity of callers, Tony.
No question. A great fraternity. No doubt, Philly. No doubt about it.
Well, it looks like Barnes is going to get that guy from Israel, don't it?
Well, the question on the guy from Israel, Phil, is they thought initially they were going to get him for 2 or 3 years. I wrote yesterday in the blog that the belief now is they're only going to get him for 1 year. Again, you're dealing with the NCAA, but who knows? The thing about him is he hasn't played over here, so his clock shouldn't have started. But then the NCAA's got some different, and it's hard for me to extrapolate all this out. It's hard for them to extrapolate all this out, but there's some kind of international rule with him. And then he's a professional player, though, Phil. They think he can help them. They know he's a very good shooter, and he's played with some high-level professional players overseas.
Yeah. So what did Tennessee finish in the predictions in the football, Tony, down there in the media days?
I'm glad you asked me that, Phil. I'm looking for it myself right now. Maybe Brian Hartman has it, because I can't see it anywhere. I'm looking for it. What would be your guess, Phil? Where would they have the Vols?
I'd say 7 for 8.
That's what I guessed today. Yeah, we're going to see how my picks line up with their picks, but I just kind of at the end of the day, I think people will look at Tennessee and they'll say, I got to see this quarterback to believe it. And you know what? I wouldn't blame anybody for picking Tennessee there right now till you see the quarterback play. Kind of like the way people say, well, I don't know about Alabama. I don't know about this team. There's a lot of question marks in the league this year, Phil.
Really are. I agree. But, hopefully they'll have a good year. But Heupel's saying that he still loves Nico. Do you believe that?
What else are you going to say? Hey, Phil, you believe that?
No.
I don't either. I say, thank you, brother. Good talking to you. I say power on Miles Kitzelman. When they went to Kitzelman, he said no comment. And then Adam Sparks said the backstory is Kitzelman can't stand that guy. Why would you? In the transfer portal era, why do I got to play footsie with you and kissy-kissy when you walk out the door and quit on me? Look, if you quit on me in December and you want to say he's my brother, okay, fine. December. Season's over. You did your thing. I don't want to mar the show with that. Let's go back to the phones. I predict the SEC media will go Georgia, Texas, Bama, LSU, Ole Miss, A&M, then Tennessee at 7. But to me, when you look at the league this year, you could go from A&M, Tennessee, South Carolina, Florida, Oklahoma, Auburn, and any of those teams could finish in any order, and it would not surprise me. And it wouldn't surprise me if a couple of those teams jumped a few spots higher and touched the periphery of the playoffs, and maybe even the playoff, and maybe even got in. But let's go back to the phones. 865-200-5402. Let's get our next call Let's get our next call in, then we'll take a timeout. Hello and welcome in.
Hey, Tony, Madison in Texas.
Hey, Madison in Texas. Welcome in, brother.
Hey, good to talk to you guys. So how I found Tennessee football, and then I got something for you about this team we got here coming up. So grew up in Knoxville and, was always around it, but never really fell in love with it until I was about 12 years old. It was 2006 UT Cal game. Went with my dad, my uncle, my cousin. And, man, it was rocking in there that day. I don't think I've ever heard it as loud as it was in 2006 since we beat Bama. And, man, it was just a wonderful, wonderful day. Robert Meacham broke out. We had a bunch of young running backs. Eric Ainge played well. Defense was stacked. And that's when I kind of started to fall in love with it. From there, then my little brother, so my brother's probably 6 at this time. He's a little younger than me. We go to the next game. And back in 1989, my dad was hired on the UT staff to work under Phil when Phil was the offensive line coach, I believe, at that time. And the coolest thing I've ever seen in sports, Tony, we go to the Vol Walk. We walk up to Phil Fulmer himself, and he turns around and calls my dad by name, and he goes, "Man, it's great to see you. It's been so long." And so my brother and I are wearing Robert Meacham jerseys, and he goes, "You guys want to meet Robert?" And we were just so excited. Got to meet Robert Meacham. We were young kids at the time. And ever since then, man, just been in love with it. So
wow, something like that would really hook you. And then, how did you find our show, man?
So probably about 10 years ago in college, I had this internship. I was driving out to Morristown from Knoxville, and I just found you guys on AM radio. And I was getting a little tired of the, no offense, low IQ Knoxville media. Of course, nobody from the News Sentinel; those guys are great, but the radio. I just wasn't too impressed. And so started listening to you guys. You guys were different. You guys kind of were stimulating some thought about Tennessee. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to stick with these guys. So now I live here in Texas, and it just makes me feel at home listening to the Tony B Show. And I wouldn't give it up for anything, man. So it's been great listening to you guys over the years.
That is a really, 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 really terrific high compliment. Okay, make me feel good about this team now. Hit it.
So, Tony, first of all, I've been calling in. I've been high on Aguilar since the moment I flipped on the tape. Still believe he's going to be a good player. I think he's going to be an upgrade from almost said JG, Imaliava. But I'll say this, Tony. I think you had a great point earlier in the week where you're talking about how if we had a true stud, Saquon Barkley, 5-star type running back, that would totally change this offense. I think the problem that we've been seeing since 2023 Florida game is that teams are playing us with 2-3 high safeties way far away from the box. And that's not allowing us to run our offense the way we did in 2021, 2022 with receivers running free. Now, we had a decent running game, but we're running into a light box. But if I got Saquon Barkley or I've got Ashton Genty, you're going to have 8 guys in the box. You've got to get closer to the line of scrimmage because you don't have enough space. That safety's going to get cooked if he's coming down and running the alley from 10 yards away. So if we had that 5-star running back, Tony, I think we'd see the best offense we've ever seen in Tennessee by far. And I agree with that. I agree with that take.
And yeah, and that's why, like when we were talking a couple weeks ago about would you rather have a 5-star wide receiver or the 5-star running back, you and I are thinking the same thing, which is we've never seen one here. This guy's offense takes, and no offense to our guy last year, okay? Nice player. But he's not a frontline back. Not in the conventional sense. I would love to see them invest in one of those superstar running backs. And my pitch to them would be, you want to run for 3,500 yards? Because you could do it in this offense. You want to run for 3,000 yards? You could literally be Ashton Genty in this offense. Because if you're a great back, you're in the second level, because that's how the thing schemes you to the second level, and then it's you and a safety. Can you imagine the Genty guy in this offense last year? How many yards they could have run for?
I mean, he would have rewritten the record books, man. It would have been nuts, and it would have been worth the $5 million you had to pay for him.
I agree with that. And look, I love this Keys kid that they're chasing, and I get it. I get the need for the take the top off wide receivers, but how about a take the top off running back in that offense and what it would look like? But listen, I appreciate you in beautiful Texas. Keep it up, my friend. Great talking to you today. We're going to come back on the other side. We're live today here at Calhoun's. We are in Lenoir City. It is absolutely a beautiful spot, a great place to be. We're doing what we're doing here, and we're on for 2 hours. So get in, and Brian Hartman is going to break the news when it comes down, the picks from the SEC. He's feverishly watching. He tells me that news is supposed to break in about 10 minutes. So when news breaks out, we'll break in as we continue with more on the other side right after this.
Hey, Tony B listeners, I'm Billy from Grade A Grounds, a UT grad bringing Knoxville a better way to raise money. We roast premium coffee fully branded for your team or cause. You keep 40% of sales, and we donate 5% to local needs. Let's win on and off the field. Visit gradeagrounds.com to start your winning fundraiser today.
Living Vol fan, we're on the countdown to kickoff, and that means you need to make sure you are game ready. Head to Alumni Hall to get this season's Tennessee sideline apparel. Nike, Columbia, Peter Millar, and more. Shop top brands for the entire family. Hats, Yeti, tailgating gear, and so much more. If it's for the Tennessee fan, Alumni Hall has it. Spend $150 and get $10 in Hall cash rewards. Shop at alumnihall.com. Download their app or shop any of their locations in Knoxville, Murfreesboro, or the Tri-Cities. Alumni Hall, the ultimate shopping destination for Vol fans.
It's the hottest post-game show on the planet. Garza Law, fifth quarter fan reaction. Fan reaction. As soon as the final gun sounds, we're live.
Tony Basilio, and we are live once again with Chad Stockton of FC Alliance. And Chad, you're out there on the field, 100 strong here in Knoxville. Talk to me. What's been going on with FC Alliance now that the weather's heating up?
We're out here for the first night of the boys' tryouts. We have over 400 kids that'll be here tonight. So a lot of exciting times right now for us. Our club team start at U9 and we go all the way through U19. We have over 1,000 kids that come from Chattanooga from the Tri-Cities that make all our teams and make this club what it is today. So we're excited about it. We finished the younger kids a couple of weeks ago. We just finished the girls last night, and now we're on to our older boys program as we speak right now.
And we're blowing and going in the Tri-Cities. Tell me about it.
We started FC Alliance North 1 year ago, and coming off the first year, we're the largest, most competitive club up in the Tri-Cities area. We just finished our tryouts last night. Looks like right now we will be well over 400 kids for the upcoming season. So great things happening up there. We've put our boys into some really good regional leagues. So we're excited about what the future holds for them and also our girls programs.
If you want more information, check them out at fcallianceknox.org. That's fcallianceknox.org. Chad Stockton, keep growing the beautiful game here in East Tennessee.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tony.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow. I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care. I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net. TB here for Cedar Bluff Plumbing, a live and local company that's been serving our area for over 32 years and counting because every customer counts, and I mean no job is too small. Cedar Bluff Plumbing just voted #1 by City View magazine because multiple plumbing experts are on call to serve all your plumbing needs. Chances are there'll be a plumber in your area when you call, and they won't send some salesman to your house. You're going to get a high-character, trustworthy, highly trained plumber who will serve you, not like some of these guys that look like they came off the set of America's Most Wanted. Cedar Bluff Plumbing is Basilio tested and approved and will go the extra mile for you because Chucky Mack is a servant of the people and my consigliere to the throne, celebrating over 32 years of serving living volunteers. Cedar Bluff Plumbing. Call 588-4448. That's 588-4448. Cedar Bluff Plumbing.
Attention Vol fans, are you tired of complicated, clunky fleet technology that makes your job harder? Say goodbye to frustration and hello to Connexial, your hometown partner in logistics. It's time to rev up your operations with next level fleet management from Connexial. Connexial is here to keep your business on track with technology that works as hard as you do. Our game-changing ELD gives you more than just hours of service. With AI-powered dash cameras and real-time asset tracking, you'll have eyes on the road, cargo, and your fleet from anywhere, anytime. And the best part, our friendly US-based customer support team is just one phone call away. No more long wait times or frustrating tech talk. Just real people with real solutions. With Connexial, you get a professional team you can trust and easy-to-use products that keep you on the road. What do you say, Tony?
I'm ready. Make the smart move and call Connexial today.
865-888-6920. Learn more at Connexial.com. That's Koneixial.com. Drive life with Connexial and go Vols.
Chilio here, and you know my friends at Carnes Motor Company started with a dream over a quarter century ago. I met Rob and Brian back when I still had hair. and they were working at a huge dealership in West Knoxville. But they told me back then they wanted to sell cars on their terms, and I wanted to do radio on my terms. Their terms, just like my terms, are ultimately your terms. In both cases, you're the winner. A Car Guru's National Award winner with a 5-star rating on all sites, just like our Vols. Everything about buying a car from Carnes Motor Company is no hassle. They specialize in high-quality pre-owned vehicles between the $5,000 to $25,000 range. And if you need to sell a car, they'll either buy your car or they'll help you sell it. Carnes Motor Company also has a top-notch service department. Therefore, every vehicle is rigorously inspected and serviced prior to delivery. So you're guaranteed to get a quality pre-owned vehicle every time. If you need a place for service, they've got you covered. Come be a part of the Carnes Motor Company family and tell them you heard about it from me. Online at carnesmotor.com, Oak Ridge Highway, 1 mile past the Carnes light. Carnes Motor Company.
Yeehaw! Some people say betting online is still the wild, wild west. But with the VIP Play app, you're riding with the best. VIP Play app is hotter than a $2 pistol packed with flair. Live hosts and features finer than a frog hair. Send your old betting problems out of town with a slap. You'll be betting sharp as a tack on the VIP Play app. Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
Download VIP Play today or head to VIPPlayApp.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-88-99789. Must be 21 plus and located in Tennessee to bet.
WJBE 1040 AM 99.7 FM. Translator W259AB. Powell, Knoxville.
Tony B back with you. I want to shout out a couple guys that have made my day. In fact, I'm buying them lunch. Don't tell anybody. But Rick Russell, a man who defies age and gravity, moving right to left across your device, and also Josh Renner, have stopped down here. Now, they told me today they put in their car, in their GPS, right? Calhoun's on the river. That's where they thought we were. They come from Greenville. They drove an hour and a half to get here. That's 90 minutes, boys and girls, children of all ages. That's kind of what it's about. They popped me. They fired me up today. Those two guys gave me the power to continue to do what we're going to do here this hour, where all lines are jammed. Thank you, boys. And they're going to eat some lunch on me. Now, I'll tell you this. One of those gentlemen can drink some serious beer. He said to me, Tony, I'm on my own on the beer. I said, you damn straight you are. You're on your own when it comes to your beer. There ain't enough money in the world. There ain't enough money in the world to fund that. Let's go to the phones at 865-200-5402. And these gentlemen are enjoying the show in person today. Let's go to the phones and get our next call in. Here's our topic today. Topic is, how did you find this thing we call Tennessee sports? What was your entree into it, this madness and craziness? And then how did you find the rate? How did you find what we do, man? Because here's the thing. We have, and you've heard this so far, we've had people that have been with us 30 years. We have people that have been with us for 1. People have been with us 5. People have been with us 6 months. People that found us on Shiano Sunday. People that found us driving home from Ohio State, the Ohio State game, and we stayed on. I was visiting with a prospective client the other day, and he wasn't familiar with us. And I looked at him. I said, we do post-game stuff. He said, do you? I said, yeah. We didn't go off the air till 5:30 in the morning after the Ohio State game. He said, come again? I said, yeah, we were on till 5:30 in the morning. He said, huh? I said, why do you think I look the way I do? Let's go to the phones. Hello and welcome into our next call. You are on our Friday edition live today here at the Tiki Hut. We're at Calhoun's beautiful Lenoir City. It is absolutely beautiful here. It feels like you're on vacation out here. It's a beautiful spot. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
I was wrong, and I just can't live without you.
My boy.
You were a player back in the day, Tony.
I've been called a lot of things, brother, but when it came to women, as a kid, I had 0 game. Nobody ever called me a player. They called me maybe a player hater. I used to hate those guys. I used to hate those guys that were comfortable around the girls in high school. That aggravated me. So I was a player hater. But I'll tell you this. I love that song. That song is in C minor. That is an incredible guitar. That outro at the end of that arpeggio little thing he goes where he goes da na 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 da na 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 da na 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 na. That is a great jam. Great jam right there.
Oh yeah, when you hear
great
that opening,
jam,
man, that takes you back.
That Mellotron.
Yeah.
Bum.
Takes you back to childhood.
And here's the thing about great songs like that. He's talking about Baby Come Back from Player. A great jam like that, everybody loves that song. It goes boom.
Oh yeah.
You
got that on your playlist?
Are you kidding? When I play in the park, I play with an instrumental version of that, and I'll pick that song 5 times in a 4-hour period.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You ought to come out with me, Freddie Jack. You ought to leave me your information. I've never met you. You and I ought to sit in the park one day.
We met.
And I'll serenade you. I'll serenade you, man. You boycotted me for like 3 months. What happened?
Get
mad at me?
I've tried to call in some, but I couldn't get in. Or
Bino said you finally jumped the shark with Freddie Jack. He said, I bet you probably crossed the Rubicon with me. How did you find the show, Freddie Jack?
Well, I lived up in the Tri-Cities in 90, and then I moved back here in 92. And I was looking through the Sentinel one day. There was a sports talk show up there. That's where I got my start in sports talk. I don't remember who it was. But,
Bill Meade on that, I think WJCW. Shout out Bill Meade.
Yeah, it had to be between 89 and 92. That's how long I lived up there. So. I was looking through the Sentinel one day after I moved back, and there was this block ad, and it had your show. It wasn't QBB; it was even before QBB.
Yep.
I remember the first time I called in, Tony, and my life has never been the same. It was just me.
That sounds like a country. That sounds like a country song. I called you, and life was never the same, brother.
Before QBB,
I was on WRJZ. Christian radio. I was on there one night, and I called this team a bunch of dogs. And some lady called me and said, that's not Christian. I said, what does that have to do with Christianity, the fact that team played like a bunch of dogs last night? What is that? I mean, what are you talking about? I said, we call each other dogs all the time. Come on now. I asked her if she ever heard of Terry Funk. I said, Terry Funk called people egg-sucking dogs all the time. You ever heard of Terry Funk? She goes, no.
Terry Funk. He just passed away not too long ago, didn't he?
Terry Funk, when he was 55 years old, was still wrestling hardcore matches. I mean, this guy's a nut job now. One of my favorite. I saw him in the old Philadelphia Spectrum. He branded Hulk Hogan. There were 2 kids in front of me that cried.
Tony, I still remember the first time I called your show. It was just me and you. I don't think there was anybody else. And I'll never forget it. And we've been through a lot of good times together. And you've given me so much enjoyment over the years, Tony. You just don't know. I'd drive around trying to get your signal in. I'd get mad when the other station would come in and cut you off, late in the evening. We've talked about that before.
How did you find Tennessee sports, Freddie Jack? A life of torture.
About 1970, and a lot of it had to do with John Ward. Probably most of it. John Ward was a big part of my life growing up. I'd stay up late at night, listen to the games. I would record the games on blank 8-track tapes and listen to them over. And it was all John Ward. And
that night, John Ward passed away, and we stayed on the air. I grabbed my phone and did a live show that night. We were in Ocean City, New Jersey. I sat there on the boardwalk. That moon was up in the air. people calling in from all over the freaking country, grown men just crying their eyes out. That was one of the most powerful things ever, man. You talk about a testimony to how many people that man touched. That's incredible to me. The power of that. Think about the power of that.
Oh, he was Tennessee sports to so many. I mean, I'll never forget. It popped up on my YouTube not too long ago. The old Kentucky-Tennessee game where we won, what was it, 103-98? And it had the video, and he was calling the game. You remember that game, don't you, Tony?
Oh, absolutely. Are you kidding?
Were you was that? I can't remember. That was before you were around, wasn't it? Yeah.
I hear all that stuff, man.
That was the stars: King, Grunfeld, Mike Jackson, and Kentucky was loaded. Goose Gibbons, Phillips, Roby.
Yep.
Oh, it was a great game. But anyway,
back then, everybody stayed in school, right? So you had men out there playing with men, and the level of hoops was unreal back in the 70s. And everybody did make the NCAA tournament, so there were real stakes involved when you played your regular season games. Everything felt like a playoff game back then.
Tony, I knew this guy. He was a medical professional. He knew Phillips. He came to see him. And he stayed in school because he'd make more money than going to the pros back then.
Wow. Wow.
Imagine that. Of course, you can make good money now, but not like you can in the NBA, some of those contracts they're getting. But anyway.
No, but Nate Ament this year is going to make about $9 million playing basketball with the Vols. They're paying him about right at $4 million, and his shoe deal is going to pay him around $5 million. So Nate Ament, if you walk up to him, he got a lot. He got some money on him. He buying. Okay, he might be able to fund the beer at the table these two guys are going to drink the next hour.
He got paid.
He got what they call paid. Hey, you're the man. Have a Dwight Gooden. Good hearing your voice. Thank you.
I love you, Tony.
You don't. You're mad at me. You don't know how
much you meant to me all these years, Tony. You really don't.
Thank you, brother. I love you. Hearing your voice today makes me feel good because I thought we had lost you. I thought I'd run you off and finally urinated you off where you quit me. Hello and welcome into our next call as we're live in hour number 2 here, and we're celebrating us today in the spirit of RMI, who, if you didn't hear in the first hour, one of our great callers down through the years, one of the infrequent callers, but a real character, passed away. His daughter called me today on my way down here, and I said, we gotta love on RMI here, and we're going to love on each other anyway. So let's get our next call in. Hello and welcome. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony. Good afternoon. It's Brian.
Hey, welcome in. Good to talk to you.
Yes, sir. So on your topic there, I guess thinking about probably like the last caller said, John Ward, probably between 82, 83. We lived in Oak Ridge, and I guess we didn't go to the games, but we could listen to it. And I was a big basketball fan as well, and just loved him calling the basketball games and football. I remember getting up on Saturday mornings to be, later, maybe midway, and it'd be crisp, cool, and we'd gather and play football, and we'd have John Ward playing over there on the side. We'd be listening to the game while we were playing football amongst the neighborhood friends. So that's a fond memory I have.
Isn't that great, man? I had so many people tell me that as kids, I still remember those days too. You take the radio out. I wonder if people still have the same relationship now that everything's televised with the radio that they once did. Chances are they don't, right? The kids, chances are they just don't.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either. Those special times, man.
Yeah, and it's different. I mean, I still like listening to it on the radio. Just, I will have the TV on, but sometimes when you're not, I mean, it's just a different version because they're painting a story and stuff. I guess the wordsmithing of a radio announcer is different than a TV announcer.
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt about that. Like your hometown announcer should connect. People say to me, well, so-and-so's a homer. And I go, why wouldn't they be a homer? They're paid by the team. They're calling the games. They better damn well be a fan, man. I mean, what are we doing? If you're calling a team for your fans and you're not cheering for that team, what's wrong with you?
Exactly. And then I also remember they would they would replay the games like at like midnight or 11, really late at night. I don't know if it was just basketball or if it was football, but I remember on like the weekends I would get to stay up really late and watch it on TV. And I think it was a playback with John Ward or the UT version playing it back. That was pretty cool. The other thing was, I guess, in '85 was probably my first game that I can recall. I tried to think back or whatever, but my dad said, "Hey, you want to go over the game?" And said, I was jacked up. I was 12 years old, and that was the UT versus Auburn and Tony Robinson and the Tennessee Waltz. And we didn't have tickets. We just were kind of walking down from the library. I remember walking down from the library down to the gate, the main gate there, just saying, "Hey, we need two." And this guy in front of me, he'd say, "Yeah, my parents could come. How about two for $10 total?" So
how about that?
We paid $5.
Handing you tickets. Wow.
They were like right on the 50-yard line, 40. They were primo seats in the midsection.
Handing you tickets, man. Handing you tickets.
Number one Auburn, and then Tony Robinson and the Vols did the business on them. And I guess I was hooked before then, but that was pretty sweet game there.
Oh, come on, man! You don't. Hey, listen, you don't forget things like that. And listen, how did you find our show, my man?
Yeah, so I was going to say probably around 1994. I was working for the basketball team at UT, but then I started helping Charlie Benson with the Tennessee Travelers, and I think somehow maybe you used to have him on. Or for some reason he was down there at that station, like at Clinch Avenue and 11th, just off the
That's right.
Airport.
That's right. That's right.
And I was with him, and so we came into the studio or whatever, and he talked with whatever you all were doing. I remember a guy named Jerome Brown was a UT football player and did a lot of high school football stuff.
The great Jerome Taylor. Shout him out. Respect on his name.
Taylor.
I don't know where Jeromeo is right now. But he was a funny guy, great guy. Loved the kids. Jerome Taylor loved the kids.
He did. He was about promoting them all. So anyway, that's how I ran into you and pretty much been listening to you ever since. So going on, 40 years? Well, 41. Is that right? Anyway, 31.
31 years. You know what that is, brother? 31 years of consuming my stuff is a lot of dead brain cells. Thank you, my man. Yeah.
But it helps you make it through the day, so make the day better.
God bless you, brother. That's the highest compliment I could ever get from anybody. Let's go back to our phones. No, you all make my day better. That's the truth. You all make my day. These guys that drove from Greenville, I want to hug and kiss them. That fires me up, focuses me, and prepares me like you can't even believe, okay? I mean, let's keep it real. So we go back to our phones and get our next call in. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
What's up, Basilio, Bobby?
Hey, Bobby, welcome in, brother.
I don't know what year it was I started listening to you, but via Kevin, the great Lee Ramsey introduced me to your show. Great one. But it was maybe Doug Matthews. Were you working for him at the time, maybe off South Central?
Yeah, I was on his station. That's right. I was on his station when he owned 1180. That's right.
Yeah, so sometime early in that stint. But I've loved every minute of it mostly. So what can I say? I'm sure you've done the same with my calls.
Absolutely.
1988, August of 1988, sadly my grandfather passed away. My dad came to me and said, your grandma needs somebody to go to games with. And if you remember what happened in the fall of 1988, that was quite the introduction to University of Tennessee athletics and University of Tennessee football. It was not my first game, but it was definitely my first season. I was 7 years old, and Tennessee was awful. Do you remember 88?
I was on campus. They were 0-6. I was at the first game, Saturday night game at Georgia, And I talked to my college friends. Back then, everything was cash. You didn't have credit cards back then. I brought a bunch of cash because the Eagles were playing in Tampa Bay the next day, a noon kickoff. The Vols played Saturday night. The Eagles played in Tampa. I talked those two fools into driving down to Tampa Bay with me because it was Labor Day weekend, and we went all the way down to Tampa Bay. And the Vols lost and the Eagles won. And then coming back, I didn't think about this, but we didn't have money to eat on the way back, so we had to dine and dash at a few spots. No offense to those two Shoney's that we were at, but no offense to them, but that's how, hey, we made it. No offense. I'm not proud of it, but it's part of the deal.
I think the legal ramifications passed on that. If it's, it's been like
well, hey,
37 years since then.
I walked up to pay with a credit card, and the woman said, "We don't take credit card." And I said, "Ma'am," I said, "Okay." And I just kind of played it cool, and I went back to the table, and I told those two guys, I said, "You go get the car, and we're going to act like we're going to the bathroom. We're going to walk out the door," and that's what we did. I mean, I'm not proud of that, but it is what it is.
Well, so that was an interesting introduction to being a Tennessee fan. And then the next year, I think we went 11-1 in '89. I could be wrong, but we lost to Alabama. I know, but that was it, I think. And then '90, we lost up here on the 9-6. So basically, the first 3 years of my fandom have just been abject misery. But then, 8 years later, I'm sitting on a national title, as a 17-year-old kid. So 10 years later, after my grandfather passes, we win a national title. And in that interim, I don't remember how many games I missed. It wasn't many, but that was so vindicating. And if it hadn't already been to that point where we win a national title, where I'd already experienced so much misery as a fan, I don't know if I'd be as big a fan as I am now. Because in the misery, that's when you solidify your fandom. If not, you're cheap. Your fandom's cheap if you only pull for winners. So I'll leave you at that, Tony. Have a great day. Love you.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, I that's why I think like Georgia fans. Let me tell you this about the Tennessee sports experience right now. Like, we might not win a lot of championships. We're pretty good in everything to very good. I will take that over winning a national championship. Now, some people wouldn't say this. I'll take that over a national championship in football. I would rather – we have a much better sports experience than Georgia fans do. They're good in one sport. Now, some of you won't say that out loud, but we're pretty good in football. We made the playoffs last year. That was a great season we had. I'm not throwing that back. Very good in basketball. Went to the Elite Eight. That's damn good. Baseball, we went to this past year. Basketball, we went to the Super Regional. Had that great memory in our stadium of that kid waving those, doing what he did and getting that stadium alive. Come on now. I'm not giving that back. These, like the Alabamas of the world, now they're pretty good in basketball, but they don't do what we do across the board. I love our fan experience right now. And whoever the simpleton is, and then we'll go back to our phones, have you seen the guy and the girl that got caught at the Coldplay concert? Have you seen that thing that's gone? You guys seen that? That guy got caught with his hand in a cookie jar. Yeah, he got caught. And so he's a real imbecile. He's a real live imbecile. Well, somebody did a thing today on online, and I don't know who it was, but they put Tony Vols' face for the guy and my face for the girl, and they got Tony Vols hugging me from behind. And whoever did that, that's not funny. That's not funny. I take stuff like that personally. I'm just kidding. I laughed out loud at it. But let's go back to the phones. Because people think I'm in love with Tony Vitello. And you're right. The man, when he was on here yesterday, changed the pH in my blood. It was incredible. Let's get our next call in. Hello and welcome. You're on our Friday edition. We're live today here at the Tiki Hut, where when you come out here at Calhoun's Lenoir City at the Tiki Hut, it is an absolute vacation, and you can feel your blood pressure just going down. Nice and smooth. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony, it's Holly.
Holly, welcome in.
I can't wait to go to the Tiki Hut next time I'm in Knoxville at
There
I've
you
never
go.
Been there, so
there you go. It's a beautiful spot. Beautiful spot.
love Calhoun, so definitely have to hit it. Oh, and by the way, we all love Tony, so, hey, everybody can get over it. We all love him. So, these silly people that do stuff like that, it's ridiculous.
I laughed, Holly. I love me and my wife sat there and we giggled out loud at that. I know they're cracking on me, but she said that's hilarious.
Well, they're just silly. They just, there's some people don't understand how lucky we are and how much we all love him, so they can get over it. But anyway, I was calling about the UT memories and how you first found out about UT and then about your program. And so I wanted to share my experience. I was, my mother and daddy worked for UT after they graduated from college from UT. And my dad worked on the agricultural farm in Alcoa, and my mother worked up on the hill at in the registrar's office back in the day. I'm so old. Back in the day, that's where all the stuff was, up on the hill. And so I was actually conceived on the UT agricultural farm in Alcoa. And then my mom would go to work every day while she was pregnant with me up on the hill at the registrar's office. Then I was born in Knoxville.
Hey, Holly, I'm never going to see the agricultural farm the same way again. Now you put thoughts in my mind, but continue.
I don't think many people can top this story, and I swear it's true. But anyway, so then we lived the first several years of my life in a farmhouse on the UT Extension farm out in Alcoa, and then he got another job and moved. But so anyway, we would always try to go back, or my parents would try to go back. They had season tickets. Now listen to this, because back in those days, if you were an employee, you had a special whatever to get tickets. My dad's tickets were Section C, row 18 or 20, seats 26 and 27 in the football stadium. Can you imagine?
Holly, that stuff's amazing. You know what's funny, too, when you're a kid and you got those tickets? We kind of take it for granted, right? Because you think that's everybody's normal. But you got to look back at that and go, wow, I was really blessed to be a part of that.
Well, I mean, I didn't know any better, but of course, I didn't get to go a lot because I was too young, and Mom would always want to go with Dad. Well, for some reason, my dad wanted me to go finally when I was a little bit older. So he said, you're going to go, or he got extra tickets, and so Mom ended up sitting not in Section C, and I got to sit. My very first game was in Section C. And I remember that Coach Doug Dickey was the coach. It was in the late 60s. And my dad was talking to me about the game and, kind of educating me. He didn't have any boys, so I was kind of his boy. And he said, now, this is what we're going to do, and this is what's going to happen. And they run out and so forth. And the things I remember vividly was Coach Doug Dickey and the walking horse, walking around, how back in the day before, I guess they thought that the walking horse would fall on the turf or something.
Yep.
How the walking horse would walk around.
Love the walking horse, man. Yep.
So that was a big thing. And then the circle drill at halftime. I remember vividly, he said, we can't go and get hot dogs and go to the bathroom because you've got to watch circle drill. And then at the end of halftime, and this has followed me now I'm 69 years old, the band playing the Tennessee Waltz, my mother would cry and tear up every time they would play it. And I believe back in those days, I don't know if they do it now, but they would play that the last song before the halftime show was over. And then she would insist at the end of the game to stay. We never left a game. And we would sit in the stadium and listen to the band play that, and my mom would tear up. So to this day, I do the same thing. I just can't even hear that song without, getting emotional. And so basically, that's my memory and introduction to UT. And so
wow.
then. And I feel very
Holly,
fortunate.
how did you find us, Holly? How did you find this program?
I was getting ready to say. So fast forward, I've always been a fan, but when I lived in Florida, it was hard to keep up with just the radio shows and all that, even though, we had the internet and all, but I was surrounded by Florida State fans, Florida and Auburn fans, and they just drove me crazy because we lived in the Panhandle. And so I would stay in touch with friends from, that were fellow UT classmates and so forth. And so I was talking one day with, her name's Jane Barefoot, and her dad. She's lived her entire life in Knoxville. Her husband's a banker in Knoxville. And so she just said, I'm on my way to take a birthday present over to, I don't know what business it was. It was one of your sponsors. And I said, oh, what are you doing? And she said, well, there's this fellow named Roger. And he's just this really neat guy, special guy. So she was sharing it with me. And I said, well, how did this all happen? And she said, the Tony Basilio show. And so she said, y'all were having a birthday party for Roger. She was taking a gift. And I said, well, I don't know anything about that. All I ever do is listen to the Vol Network and stuff. And so she gave me the information on how to find you. And I've been hooked ever since. And so it was kind of a Roger thing that led me to the Tony Basilio show. And, now I'm a family member and a Tony Basilio addict. And that's the story.
Well, you're a sweetheart, Holly. We love you. What a great day. What a great story. And may the memory of Roger live on, who made us all better. Roger made me, knowing him, I drive by his house all the time, and I think to myself, two things. I can't believe he's gone, and I'm glad I knew him. But, Holly, thank you for the call, and it's always a pleasure. And so the questions today are twofold. The questions today are twofold for the living listener. How did you find Tennessee sports? What was your entree into this torture? And then how did you find this show? So what was your entree into this imbecilic activity that we bless each other with on a daily basis? And if you want to jump in, the number is 865-200-5402. I thank Holly for the phone call. There's a bunch of people out here enjoying a great Friday. It is a great day to be alive and well. Just having a wonderful time here. Let's do this. Let's take a brief time out. I'm going to stretch my chicken legs, and we'll come back on the other side and continue to break it down scientifically on this Friday. We're still awaiting the SEC to release the standings as picked by the Schmedia there, and we'll get to that as we continue after this.
Guests appear on the TLD Logistics Hotline, online at tldlogistics.com.
Next week with your Knoxville Smokies is huge. Who's ready for Christmas? Well, good, because Santa, Mrs. Claus, and the whole gang will be warming up at Covenant Health Park on Friday. Wrestling night with live matches after the game on Saturday, and bring those kiddos out to meet Peppa Pig on Sunday. I'm Peppa Pig. Grab your tickets now at SmokiesBaseball.com. Knoxville Smokies.
Whether it's baseball, football, softball, church groups, or schools, if you're raising money, do it with locally roasted Grade A Grounds coffee. I'm Billy Miller, a Vol alum and Knoxville native. You keep 40% of sales, and we donate 5% back to our East Tennessee community. Get started today by visiting our website at gradeagrounds.com.
Since 2001, High Branch Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling has been the trusted and preferred name for over 70,000 Knoxville locals. Looking for expert plumbing services and HVAC services, including repairs, replacements, or maintenance. Voted best plumber in Knoxville and one of Knoxville's best HVAC companies 7 years in a row. High Branch is a fully licensed mechanical contractor and committed to excellence and craftsmanship, so you can trust our certified experts to go above and beyond to meet your plumbing and HVAC needs, no matter what problem arises. We also make it easy with transparent pricing, free on-site estimates for replacement, and free second opinions on repairs. And if budgets are tight, we offer flexible payment plans, including 0% financing with credit approval. Be sure to ask about our 10-plus year warranties that are 2 times longer longer than industry standards, so you don't spend a cent on unexpected costs in the future. So call PipeWrench at 865-264-8090 or look online at PipeWrench.com to schedule your appointment today. And as always, same-day service guaranteed, or the visit is free.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Life never stops moving. And between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire. Basilio here for Budget Transmissions. TGMD, the great Matt Dixon, took his Ford Escape to budget, and like our Gold Bullet back in the day, it was a total mess. And now, Matt's back in the game. He's got a new transmission, axle, wheel bearing, both radiator hoses, engine mounts, coolant hoses. I mean, his Ford Escape was about to escape to the junkyard, but he didn't begrudge it. He took it to budget, and now he's on his way back to Omaha. Budget Transmissions, over 30 years in business, conveniently located in Bearden. All extended service contracts are honored. A gold certified Repair Pal member. 865-584-4391. 865-584-4391. Budget Transmissions. Don't begrudge it. Take it to budget.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Tony B here with the great Zakai Ziegler. For
Hey, whoa. Tony, I got this. Hey, Tennessee, it's Easy here. Next time you have an electric issue at your home or business, call my friends at Advent Electric. With offices in Knoxville and Nashville, it's Mama's Easy approved.
You heard it from the most electrifying player in the league. Call the service professionals at Advent Electric, 865-588-0631. Online, adventelectric.com. Tell them ZZ sent you. Tony B back with you. I'm talking old school wrestling right now with my boys from Greenville that came down because you don't mess with them. Josh Renner's taking me under wing on some old school wrestling. So we go back to the phones. I'll put some respect on your name. Some respect. Let's go back to our phones without further ado. Here's the topic today. We're talking about how you found the Vols and how you found this show. In that order, hello and welcome into the next call. You're on the air live today here at Calhoun's beautiful Lenoir City on the Tiki Hut, where a ton of people are out here enjoying a summer day. Great lunch, great dinner, great entertainment. At night, just a great place to be. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
PB?
Yeah, welcome in. You're on the air.
Yep, Tuckahoe Joe here.
Hey, welcome in, brother.
Well, I'll tell you a little story. My great-grandfather bought tickets in the 30s, and
obviously wasn't around then. But him and his buddy had tickets, and then as it grew through the years, I ended up, when there was not such an exciting game, I got to sit by Coach Mather's mother and brother in the box seats. And then when my great-grandfather passed away, then my grandfather went, and then they put me to selling Cokes and popcorn up and down the stadium. So I've been a fan for a long time. I remember you in the 90s, and then I seen you and your son one day at the Weigels in Farragut, and you had a van that had, or a truck that had your
That's me.
all over it.
Let me ask you something. When you were selling in the stadium, okay?
Yeah.
Could you watch a game? Say you're up there hawking popcorn, right? You pay attention to the game?
I tried to. But I didn't get much action.
So you found
popcorn, Cracker Jacks, and Coke.
There you go. So you found me off the car that I used to drive around in.
Yes. I found you later in your career. That's probably in 2000.
Wow. That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
I guess there's all kinds of ways, because when I used to drive that car around, which had my decals on it, I'd pull up next to people at red lights. They'd flip me off. They would yell things. I'm not kidding. They would yell things out the window at me. Hey, people are crazy. I was telling these two guys, people are nuts, man. And I don't know whether to engage with them, Joe. I don't know whether to engage with somebody that does that, or I just finally hey, I get my say for a couple hours. They're going to have theirs at the red light. Scream at me for a second. You know what I mean? Everybody gets their say.
We've had fun over the years. I listen to you every day, so good job.
Thank you, my brother. Good talking to you. Appreciate you sharing. That's a guy. It's a 3 or 4 generation guy. Whew. If those folks from the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s could come back and see what college football's become now, college sports, they'd be like, what in the world are you people doing, and why'd you stand for it? But it's still a great thing. It's still something that unites us. It's still a point of civic pride. It's, as you heard today, it's still something that we have great fellowship around. Back to our busy phones we go. Let's get our next call in. Hello and welcome. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony. It's Sam from Nashville.
Hey, Sam. Welcome in.
And I have been a Vol fan since June 3rd, 1992, the day I was born. And I will be forever. My dad went to UT. My grandfather went to UT, didn't graduate before he went to the service, and I graduated from UT. So my entire fall Saturdays have always revolved around the Vols, and they always will, because that's just how I grew up. And, we didn't go to a lot of games, but there was always a lot of work to do around the property. So we would plan work around the kickoff, and then whenever kickoff came around, that's when we cooked and ate and watched the Vols. So my formative years of life were Peyton Manning senior season, national championship, in the early 2000s. So about all I know is rooting for good Tennessee teams when I was growing up.
Yeah, and your formative years, they're pretty good, man. When you got to about 12, the fortune started to change.
Yeah, and it somewhat handicaps me in the sense that I just cannot accept mediocrity with the football team, because that's just not how I view them. And when I was at school, it was fear the pants and brick by brick and just miserable times. So this is an amazing time to be a Tennessee fan, because there's not one part of the year where you can't get excited for something, whether it's basketball, baseball, football. I mean, we got it good right now. We really do.
I would say it's pretty great right now, actually. To me, it's like people want to focus on, well, you didn't win national championship, you didn't get the College World Series, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. Hey, listen, You didn't. You got whacked by Ohio State last year. Hey, listen, last year's football season was pretty damn good. You have a win over Alabama in there. I mean, come on now. You're not going to win every week. You're just not. I mean, you play in this league. Hey, look at poor Ole Miss, man. Those poor people. They spent all that money on that roster last year. Had an easy schedule. Knew they were going to the playoffs. Lost to freaking Kentucky, who won one SEC game. One SEC game, man. I mean, what do you think that feels like?
Terrible. I know what it felt like when we beat Alabama. I was in Pensacola, Florida on a work trip.
There you go.
The place I was watching it, there were Alabama fans there as well. And they left that place with their head down, and I left with mine up. So I know how that felt. It felt great. Rick, it didn't look pretty. I was screaming the whole time, but at the end of the game, we won. And that's all you can ask.
Well, my favorite thing about seeing Heupel develop as a coach is he went from a guy that was painting pictures, and now he's writing numbers. And that's an old golf saying. Look, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how you got. If your ball hit the cart path, bounced 50 yards, and rolled on the green, and you tapped in a birdie putt, you put down a birdie. I mean, it doesn't matter how pretty it is. It never has, really, in football. I'll take an ugly win over a pretty loss any day of the week if you give me a choice.
Always.
But thank you, my friend. Thank you for sharing. Good talking to you in the Mid-State. How'd you find the show?
Georgie Boy Plaster on his YouTube.
Georgie Boy.
I love your show because I can call in.
There you go. The Greek god, Georgie Boy. Thank you, my man. Hey, keep calling. You're a great caller. Thank you. I love hearing from you. Thank you. Georgie Boy. HOF. Let's go back to the phones. 865-200-5402. Hello, welcome in. You're on the air. How'd you find Tennessee sports? How'd you find us? We're celebrating the us today. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony, it's Russ.
Hey, welcome in, my man.
Hey, I'll tell you how my story about becoming a big UT fan is not very impressive. I mean, I moved here. My family moved here in 1974, and I slowly adjusted from a Memphis State Tiger fan to a UT fan. And now my wife and I both graduated from there. We've had season tickets for over 30 years, huge UT fans. But what I wanted to call about was how I found your show. So back in the late 80s, a friend of mine, Joe, and we were always looking for a place to eat lunch just to kind of break up the day from work. And we started going to a little place called Rick's Place over off of Gleason and downtown West. And so we went in there and we saw you sitting there with the swamp rat, Dewey Warren. And we were amazed by Dewey Warren, but we were wondering who in the heck that was over there talking to Dewey. But, man, we fell in love with you. We fell in love with your show. And for 36 years, we've been, as you would say, killing brain cells. And when Freddie Jack said you changed his life, my wife's here in the car with me, and I said, you know, it changed my life too. And she looked at me and said, yeah, it changed mine too. And so we love you, man, and we've enjoyed your show.
A lot of the ladies I meet, they look at me and they say, especially now we're doing that post game stuff, they'll look at me and go, my husband will be sitting over there in the middle of the night and like laughing, and they'll wake me up, or he's got you on like at the bedside, and I'm sitting there going, turn that thing off so I can get some freaking sleep. Go in the other room. You know, some of these women I meet want to just literally, I can just tell by the way they're looking at me, they're like, I could slap the hell out of you, Basilio. If I got
usually me. I usually fall asleep on the post-game show with my headphones on, but hey, a lot of my family listens to you. They used to ask me, Dad, who are you listening to? Why are you always listening to this? I told him, I said, man, it's Tony Basilio. You got to listen to it. And my sons are probably listening at work right now. I shouldn't say that. My nephew, I know he's listening, and I don't know, most of my family listens to you these days, and Patrick from Memphis, and I mean, listen, Tony, we couldn't get through our days without you, man. You do a lot of great things for a lot of people, and just appreciate you. And, hey, a couple of weeks ago, really enjoyed watching the Fountain City Ramblers over at the Calhoun's on the river. Appreciate the shout-out that you gave to me and Joe and gave us a big hug. And we were sitting there listening, and Joe said, man, Tony has really gotten good on that guitar and that mandolin. I said, yeah, he's pretty dang good. So y'all did a great job. We love listening to your music, too.
Thank you, man. It's all blessing, brother. All this stuff is, it's all community, you know, whether it's music. I was telling the two fellas that came down from Greenville, you know, this place, when you're playing music out here, you got all these folks. It feels like feels like you're at the beach. I mean, that's the way I put it. It feels like you're on vacation, and for the opportunity just to experience music, experience sports in a community sense, I mean, there's just nothing better. And I appreciate you. Thank you, my man. And thank you for the kind words. Yeah, thank you for the kind words. Before you go back to the phones, I want to remind you, my friends at VIP Play, they've got British Open sweepstakes going on this week. A $250 gift card is running. You can go over there and see. They've got an open pool there. They've got sweepstakes. They've got qualifying parlays. They've got 10 times the entries you can earn. They've got long leg parlays, short leg parlays, straight bets, the whole deal. You can go ahead and check that out over at VIP Play. And they do that for special events. So you're not fooling around with some ham and egg or sports book with VIP Play. Also, exclusively, they've released lines on all 12 Tennessee football games for the upcoming season. First sports book in the state to accept wagers on all Tennessee lines. They've got new and more convenient deposit and withdrawal methods coming soon. And they're live always at VIP Play. 200-plus leagues, numerous bet types, props, options. If you have a bet in mind, you can't find it, reach out to Killer Kowalski, who you can see over on our YouTube channel, a video I recorded with him earlier in the week about the release of all Tennessee's 12 lines and the reasons why. But the VIP Play team will create the bet for you that you want, and that's why everybody gets treated like a VIP Play. And remember, if you sign up right now, you'll get on your first bet $5 or more. You get $100 in bonus bets. All you have to do is put the promo code TNTony in there. Again, the promo code's TNTony. And if you have a gambling problem, 800-889-9789. 21 and over in the state to place a bet. Located in the great state of Tennessee. Let's go back to the phones, and we'll get our next call in if you want to get in the hunt and in the mix with us. And let's get our next call in. How did you find Tennessee sports? How did you find this show? Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Tony?
Yeah, hi.
Hey, buddy. Listen, the first memory I have of Tennessee was probably the Gator Bowl, Tennessee and Florida in the Gator Bowl, and Coach Dickey left after that. And that came up with the infamous Tricky Dickey, if you remember, or maybe you don't.
Oh yeah, I've got several of the 45s by the man that wrote the song. Tricky Dickey, a former quarterback. Tricky Dickey left us to earn more jack.
But I remember that, and I remember listening to John Ward on the radio for basketball back in the Jimmy England, Don Johnson days.
Wow.
And I've been hooked ever since. And as far as finding your show, my son started listening to you, and then all of a sudden one day we're sitting here and they said, hey, Tony Basilio's going to be up in Jacksburg at Walmart, so let's go up.
God, that was way back in the day. That's a great memory, man.
That was way back, Tony, and we went up there, and hung out with you, and I've been hooked ever since. And plus, you did have a show up here at Charlie's Pizza a little bit. You did for a while.
Absolutely. And by the way, shout out to the great Barry Thomas at Pepsi, who stood by this show when very few would. And Barry kept us going for several years. So shout out to the great Barry Thomas and my friends over at Pepsi. That is a great, great memory, man.
And
all
then,
that stuff. Thank you.
I know, and now I'm retired, so now I get to 11 o'clock every day. I get to come out and listen to y'all for 2 hours a day plus. So I'm good.
Well, you're a good man, and I appreciate the kind words. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you, Tony. Bye.
Thank you. Great call. Wow, a lot of watering of the soul going on today. Lots of watering of the soul. Let's go back to the phones. Get our next call in at 865-200-5402. Hello and welcome in. Let's get our next call in. You're on the air.
Yo, Tony. BC.
You. Hey, BC. Welcome in.
Good to hear your voice as always, brother.
You too, my man.
It's hard for me to remember a time that I didn't have both the Vols and you in my life. I mean, we go all the way back.
Well, you were covering when I ran for school president, yes?
Yes. I was with you on election night, rolling around campus, and you're like, what am I going to do if I win this thing?
Well, I told you that night, I said, we're going to have to invent a story that I got death threats, and because I never wanted to be a president. I just wanted to shake up the establishment, make fun of UT's administration, and get better seats in the basketball arena. That's what I tried to do when I ran for president. And all these
same things ever since then.
Well, that's true. That's why I'm not for everybody, and everybody's not for me. But I will stir it up with you, and I will celebrate, and we will have a good time. So
yes, we will.
I love fans, man. I enjoy this so much. It's crazy.
One of my early memories of you in your role as the voice of sports in Knoxville is you were coming up and down the elevator shaft at South Carrick, or North Carrick probably, putting up flyers for your WRJZ show. I was like,
wow,
what?
That is so true. I did do that.
Out here doing a radio show? What is that?
I did do that. That's right.
Because I was walking those same halls trying to recruit students to be part of the parachurch organization that I was working for at the time. And so we were both trying to get kids to pay attention to us.
Was your thing was called, what was the initials on that? It wasn't Crusade.
Yes, InterVarsity Christian Fellowship.
There you go, InterVarsity. Yep.
And you were part of the Crusade group, and
that's
there was
right.
Always a little bit of interplay between the Christian groups on campus back then, which is kind of
some would call it heat. Some would call it heat.
Yes.
Christian brother heat, man.
My group was kind of the Vanderbilt of the group, the nerds. And you guys were probably like the Florida Gators of the campus ministry
That's
group.
Funny. That's too funny, man.
So, yeah, my fandom goes all the way back to when you're born here, which I was. There's not a time you can remember that, it's Father, Son, Holy Spirit, and the Vols. I mean, it's just, they're there. They're always there from day one. I will say one of my favorite memories growing up was we had a family friend who was well-to-do, let's just say. He was a World War II vet. He came back to Knoxville and opened a couple of very successful businesses that were sponsors of the Vol Network. So he had great seats. And one year, it was 1980, he took me to a game. I was the little kid of, my parents were sort of a couple he and his wife had taken in because they were young and had just moved to Knoxville right before I was born, and they were being kind to these young, clueless kids, and I was like his surrogate grandson. And so he took me to the Tennessee-Kentucky game in 1980.
Wow.
Run one back, which was like, at the time, the most exciting thing that existed in the world for me.
Buddy, that's super cool. When you're in a stadium and you're a kid and a big play happens like that, everybody gets up on their feet, man. That, shoo.
I can still remember when we came through the concourse and I saw the green of Shields Watkins Field for the first time. I was just like, this is unlike anything I've ever done. This is not like, back to the games weren't on TV, The UT games, you might get one a year on TV. And so to be in the building was just unheard of for me, my family I grew up in. So,
yeah, these folks that grow up, like my family in the Philly area had all these tickets, and as a kid I thought that was everybody's normal, because what's normal to you is normal. Right. And then I realized, God, man, most people don't get to do all that stuff, and now it's more expensive than ever. That's why that's why the tailgate for the kids that we do of Amachi, that's why that thing, when I think about a lot of those kids each year, that's the first time they're ever going to walk it. A lot of them, it's the first time they're ever on the campus, but to get a full tailgate experience, to get to pass the ball there in Circle Park, to get just to be a part of that is just a really cool thing. But BC, I love you. I'm up against it here. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take some more calls. I'm going to stay on. Okay. Laura's running the board today. Brian is away, and Laura's running the board. And we're going to do some overtime here. I don't know how much we're going to do, but she says let's do some. We feel led to do some overtime. We'll continue to get some calls in. To the radio listener, I love you. I appreciate you. Orange Throat lays it down today over at tclub.team. We've got some other stuff there as well on our blog. Please check it out. To the radio listener, I love you. I appreciate you. But we're going to continue the conversation wherever you're listening to us and finding us today, wherever that may be. We appreciate you. Peace.
WJBE 1040 AM, 99.7 FM. Translator W259AB. Powell, Knoxville.
It's TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime, presented by TLD Logistics. Online at tldlogistics.com. And now let's go to the guys with today's edition of TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime.
TB back with you. It's a TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime. Shout out to the great Jim Peters and my friends at TLD Logistics Online at tldlogistics.com. It is unbelievable, Andy. Look, this is a great place here. This place is all about celebration. You come out here, you're celebrating. You're making memories. This is a special, special place. Calhoun's Lenoir City. The Tiki Hut out here, I'll just paint the picture for you. I'm seeing all these beautiful folks, these boats, people around. We just had like a ladies group. They came up on their Sea-Doos, and they ate their lunch, and then they headed out. And I looked at them, and I said, listen, I know you're on the water. I said, it's 94 degrees outside. Y'all got my vote. Look like, some of these folks are in their 60s. I'm going, y'all got my vote. Y'all are way tougher than I am. Because if you think I'm going to be out there in that hot sun, no thank you. On a 93, 94 degree day, you going to be out in the hot? Not me. No. And they just kind of said, yeah. They said, I guess we're tougher than you are. I said, oh, no, you are tougher than I am. But let's go back to the phones. One of them earlier I thought was really enjoying the show, and she looked over at me and she said, turn that down. Say, I thought, man, he's, I thought, those ladies are vibing with me. I'm going to gain some new listeners. She goes, turn that down. I said, I guess, you heard today, you heard the show today. We gained some converts, from being out in the public. And some people look at you and go, who is this damn noisemaker? And is he ever going to shut the hell up? Turn that down. Let's go back to the phones. We got some more calls that want to get in, and I want to talk to you. You're going to tell me how you came to Tennessee sports, and then you're going to tell me how you found us. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
How my friends, compatriots doing today?
W. Lynn, welcome in.
It was good to know I just found out Holly's my age. She said she's 69. That's what I am, so that's kind of a neat thing to me.
There you go.
When I was about 9 years old, in my father's household, my mom and dad were big UT fans. Now, my brother had moved out. He was older and married and away. And I was just kind of raised, you're a UT fan. There was really no other choices. You know, and I started following this. The first season I can kind of remember all the way through was 65. And I fell in love, was all in. Didn't get into basketball till probably the 66, 67 year. And that's when John Ward started doing basketball, I believe. And so the first game I ever went to was 1966. My dad was an usher starting in the early 60s in Section X, which if you look at pictures of the old stadium, it's just a little attachment, a stadium to the main stadium. And before segregation ended, that was called the colored section. I learned that from Tom Mattingly. Now, when I went with him in 66, I didn't pay attention to who was over there, but he was on the row one, and there was a concrete wall between that and the main stadium, and his main job was to not let anybody go over that wall to the main stadium. It's kind of funny. There wasn't a gate. It was a true wall, you know, about waist high. And so he had a chair he sat in, and I've still got that chair in my garage with his name on it. And he just kind of squeezed me into a seat, and it was against Kentucky. And I fell in love with Johnny Mills, who was a wide receiver. And he had a big night. He had a big day. And for some reason, we were on ABC that day. It was a television game. And I remember above the north end zone, where it was just bleachers, ABC had a big crane, and at the top was a platform with one cameraman up there swinging from the top of the crane. And he handed me his binoculars when we were about to score, and he said, "Now, son, look up there when we score." And I pointed my binoculars up to his binoculars up there, and we fired that cannon off in the end zone, the ROTC cannon, and that guy about jumped off the platform. And you could tell he was looking around, shaking his fist, probably saying a few choice words down there. But my dad got a kick out of that every year because there were so few televised games that most of the time the first one televised, you know, that cameraman was pretty shook up when that cannon went off. So we got season tickets. Him and my next door neighbor got season tickets in 68. And the first game, we had north end zone seats, was the famous tie that felt like a win against Georgia, where it was 17-8 with 5 seconds left. We scored a touchdown, made the 2-point conversion with no time on the clock, and the stadium was half empty because most people had left. And from then on, my mom didn't really care that much about going, so I went with him starting in 68 to basically every home game till I became a student. And, you know, like I said, we raised our daughter here. My dad was a machinist at X10 at Oak Ridge, never went to college. He got those season tickets. And my father-in-law was a professor at UT, and when I met my Angel Ellen, we just raised our child. You're a UT fan, going to UT is just like going to the 13th grade, because that's the way we were raised. You just go from the 12th grade, you're a freshman at UT. And one of the greatest things Ray Mears ever did, Tony, and then I'll tell you how I heard your show first, if I got time. Ray Mears started something called the Sidewalk Alumni, and it was for football or basketball season ticket holders who had never attended UT or they'd never graduated, which my dad was. And he sent a basketball media guide and an orange towel that said Sidewalk Alumni. And I didn't appreciate it at the time this happened in the late 60s, maybe early 70s. I can't remember. I was still young. My dad was so proud of that he was a Sidewalk alumni, and that was one thing I'll never forget Ray Mears did to the fans who never went to UT but were the biggest UT fans you could imagine. And that was just a treasure, Tony. And I still have that towel that he got, said Sidewalk Alumni.
I love Ray Mears. Ray Mears did not have an arrogant or snooty bone in his body. Okay, when I met him when I was a kid, he did not. He treated everybody exactly the same. Whether you could do everything for him or do nothing for him. I learned a lot from Ray Mears as a young kid from that perspective. He did not care what you had. He valued everybody. Coach Mears did.
Yes, he did, and I that was one of the greatest things he ever did. And my first basketball game was in '67. My brother got me in, who was an usher, just snuck us in, and we found seats, and we got to see Pete Maravich play the freshman game, and the place was almost full for the freshman game. And then Ron Whitby scored 50 in the basketball game. That was my first basketball game, '67.
Well, W. Lynn, how did you find us? You were just getting to that. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was the early '90s, and I was at work, and we'd have a few radios on in key places, and I heard bits and pieces you got of you, and I didn't know who it was, and I thought, what station is this? Because all I knew was Mike Keith and the Vol Network, and so I said, this guy's kind of nuts. I kind of like him, and then I started listening, and I remember this. I can say this now. I'm retired. I was at UPS.
Yep.
And it was the last year of the Kevin O'Neill era, and the power went out, and I was in the break room with only emergency lights, and I called you about Kevin O'Neill from the payphone.
Let's go, man.
And we talked, and I remember you saying, if we're not careful, we're going to lose O'Neill, which we did.
Let's go.
So I was pretty hooked then, and that might have been, I can't remember the last year of O'Neill, 95, 96. And
97. 97. Spring of 97 is when O'Neill left.
Okay, so I heard you in the fall of 96 when Memphis State had just beat us in Memphis. And I'll never forget people calling in and raising Cane. And, I'm not really a big fan of Farmer, so I was eating it up in a way. And somebody says, is it time to start thinking about getting rid of Farmer? And you were like going, I don't know, I hope not. And I was like going, yeah, let's get rid of him. That's just me. And if GQF was on board then, but I didn't know GQF. So, but 96, 97, I started listening to you regularly because I made that call in 97 right before it had all ended with O'Neill. And I was hooked. What channel were you on in 96, 97?
1040. WQBB back in the day. That was a locally owned station that was owned by the Staley family. And that was an awesome family operation. Back then, radio stations were owned by family. And that was the end of what you'd call real radio, because what ended up happening to radio is it became corporate. And like a lot of things, W. Lynn, when you corporatize something, you kind of take the soul from it. But that was a family operation. You had a brother working there. You had a brother-in-law working there. They gave me an opportunity of my lifetime. I'm forever indebted to them for that. I see Jim Staley around town every once in a while. He went on and became a guy who's in the real estate game. But, yeah, it's pretty cool to look back on. Because we had no idea what we were doing back then, man.
And I remember, listening to you and not calling that much then, but I can remember when 05-06 came and Bruce Pearl was here.
Yep.
And we started having a good December, and I started getting real fired up. And I'll never forget Christmas break hit, and my late wife, my angel Ellen, was a teacher, and she comes home, and I worked nights then, so I'd sleep in a little bit, but I got up at 11 o'clock when you came home. I had a old 1970 stereo that has a radio in it. I turned that on upstairs. I had a radio downstairs in the rec room. I had a radio on the garage, and I heard her talking to one of her friends, teacher friends, and she goes, "My gosh, all of a sudden Lynn's into listening to this guy named Tony Basilio. He's got every radio in the house on, and I can't really talk to him for 2 hours."
Let's go. Thank you, my brother. I love it.
Brother.
Great talking to you. That's funny. That's funny. All right. So Laura just sent me a text. Tony, my blood sugar is officially dropping. What does that mean? Does that mean the show's about over, Laura? Is that what that... When your wife of 33 years... oh my God, sweetie, 34 years, texts you that my blood sugar is dropping, that might mean it is time for us to call it a day. I want to thank you for being with us today. It's utterly incredible. The great Brian Hartman, our best to him. We appreciate you, unlike any other. Let me share. Brian Hartman, why don't you jump in here and share with us the preseason poll? Because I missed it by one. Go ahead, Brian. I missed it by one here on the website today. I missed it by one. Go ahead, Brian.
The Texas Longhorns are picked to win the SEC with 96 first-place votes. Georgia comes in at second. They got 44 first-place votes. Alabama, number 3, with 29 first-place votes. LSU, 20 first-place votes. South Carolina, 5th. Top 5 for the Gamecocks, 5 first-place votes. Florida is picked to finish 6th. They got 2 first-place votes. Ole Miss, 7th. They got a first-place vote. Texas A&M, 8th. No first-place votes. And Tennessee was picked to finish 9th. So Tennessee starts the bottom 8 of the preseason picks. They got 1 first-place vote. The Vols were picked 9th. Oklahoma, 10th. They're on the schedule. They got 3 first-place votes. Auburn, 11th, with 1 first-place vote. Missouri, 12th. Vanderbilt got 2 first-place votes, like they do every year from somebody that's obviously had too much to drink. Vanderbilt comes in at 13th. Arkansas, 14, Kentucky, 15, and Mississippi State, 16. Texas picked to win the SEC, and Tennessee picked to finish 9th.
Love Vandy getting their obligatory 2 first-place votes. Now, do you think they try to figure out the writing of that person? Maybe through fingerprints, trying to... Who in the hell would stuff the ballot box for Vanderbilt football? But they do it every year, right, Bri? They get the obligatory 2 first-place votes.
Yeah, I wonder if our guy Watson Brown may have got in there by disguise.
I mean, like...
Billy Derrick maybe stuffed the ballot.
Yeah. I asked him one day, I said, do you know who's doing that? And he said, no. He said, it's kind of embarrassing. That's what he said. I mean, he kind of keeps it real, you know. The obligatory 2 first-place votes for Vanderbilt football. Time to get the FBI involved and find out who's behind this. I'm calling scandal here. Love Tennessee being disrespected. Tennessee does their best work when they're disrespected. I think that's a great sign the Vols get disrespected. Vols do their best work as an underdog. I want to thank everybody for being with us. Hey, Laura, thank you so much. And go get you something to eat. Love y'all. It's been an incredible week. Broadcasting. We'll be back with you, God willing, on Monday. tclub.team is where you find us. We appreciate you. Have a great day. And enjoy your weekend.
Translator W259AB. Powell, Knoxville.
I got a little pep in my step. I got a little spring in my stride. I got a song in my heart. Feeling pretty darn good. Feeling groovy, as they say in the trade. Who did Feeling Groovy, John? Was that Paul Simon? Simon and Garfunkel? Dun-dun, you move too fast.
It sounds like it could have been the Lovin' Spoon.
Lovin' Spoonful.
Herman's
Hermits.
said that.
You gotta make the good parts last. John Adams is in the